Thank you for joining us for Pigs on the Run from PigWorks Cincinnati Flying Pig Marathon, powered by P&G. This edition of Pigs on the Run brought to you by Ohio Valley Goodwill. And today's guest, Nicole White, and we will meet her daughter, Kate, here in a little bit. Also, Sharon Hannon from Goodwill. Thank you all for being with us today.
Thank you.
Thank you, Betsy.
So today we're going to be talking about PigAbilities, the PigAbilities event that is part of Cincinnati Flying Pig Marathon weekend. It is open to athletes of all abilities. It is a 1 mile event. It's designed for people to walk, roll, run, however they want to finish that 1 mile at their own pace. And Nicole, I'll start with you. I know you're a runner and you were very adamant right at the beginning that you wanted your daughter Kate to be part of the PigAbilities. Why is that?
Because running to me is a unique community. Like, people of different paces, identities, abilities can all participate in an activity along the course, whether you're walking or running or skipping or crawling. I forget how the phrase goes, but it was really important for me from day one for all of my kids to be involved in fitness. And so when we received the birth diagnosis of Kate having Down syndrome, the first thing that I immediately thought is, one day she's going to run a marathon with me. And so when I came to learn that the Flying Pig already had a race built for people with different abilities, the PigAbilities, I was like, we're gonna be involved in this race. We're gonna do this. And so as soon as I learned about it, we signed her up. We've done the Piglet race for a couple of years. We started with a little bit of the shorter distances, the diaper dash distances. And then when she was 4 years old, she did her first 1 mile race. And that was the year that she kind of like knocked my socks off, if you will, where I thought she would be getting in the stroller and not wanting to do it, but she walked the entire course. And it was like, she impressed me. And so that was really inspiring for me to see. And she's been involved ever since. And this year we did a virtual 1 mile around our neighborhood, and she had a blast. She's jumping on my treadmill every once in a while and wanting to, let's go run. And so it was really good to see her wanting to be involved in fitness and an inclusive environment like the PigAbilities race.
Oh, that's great. And Sharon, as I mentioned, Ohio Valley Goodwill has partnered with this event for quite some time. Why is it important for Goodwill to be involved in PigAbilities?
Well, first of all, I want to commend Kate for her wonderful participation. That's awesome. And the reason why Ohio Valley Goodwill is the title sponsor for the PigAbilities race is because we really wanted to show in the community how Ohio Valley Goodwill is all about supporting people with disabilities. And that is really part of our mission of service and has been for more than a century. And specifically, we provide individuals with developmental disabilities with employment and training programs, as well as personal development programs to help them to be fully included in the larger community. And PigAbilities was a perfect match for that. We've actually been involved with the Flying Pig in a variety of fashions since 2001, I think. Mm-hmm. So basically from the very beginning, as relay team members, as part of the Hope and Possibility race, which was an inclusive event for athletes of all abilities in the past. And that was actually, I believe, a 5K. And then over the years, as things evolved, the PigAbilities event became more and more designed and redesigned to be more welcoming and fully accessible for people of all abilities, the time that it's presented, all the supports that are provided. And Goodwill is just so proud to have been the sponsor, the title sponsor of that event for the past 5 years.
Nicole, why do you think it's important for Kate and others of all abilities, as we always say, to be part and to have a part in the Flying Pig Marathon weekend, to be able to accomplish something like a 1 miler?
So I think it's important because so often as a society, we like to ascribe labels to people, and really there's humans behind those labels. And so really seeing what everybody is capable of, aside from a medical diagnosis that tells you what you can or cannot do according to a textbook, it's really important for me as her mom to really show, she's just as capable as anyone else of doing something like walking a mile, running a mile, doing a marathon or a half marathon. Like anybody can do it. It's just a amount of dedication and perseverance and the support of those behind you to get you to that start line and through the finish line. So for me, that's what's really important. It's more of just creating that inclusivity, I can't say the word, for her. And just really showing the community that, disabilities is something that should be supported by the community, not just medical providers or their own families. It's really something we can all do together and learn from one another.
Who had the biggest smile on the face when she crossed the finish line the first time, you or Dave?
I think I was probably with the biggest smile and the most tears, and she had probably the biggest smile because she got to see the medals at the end. And the year that we did it, I think was the first year that they made the PigAbilities medals the same size as the marathon medals, which was, that was so phenomenal for her because she just got to hold this big medal, and it was, she was a little bit smaller at the time, but she really enjoyed walking around and showing it off to everyone, and it was a really proud moment for her.
Oh, that's great. Sharon, you talked about some of the other things that Goodwill does with Flying Pig and Queen Bee Weekend, especially Queen Bee. You all are very involved in Queen Bee Weekend. Talk about some of the things that you do there.
Yeah, well, the Pig approached us however long ago, 5 or 6 years ago, when they first were putting together the Queen Bee half marathon event, and wanted to know if we had interest in supporting that event. And when we found out it was all about empowerment of women and basically elevating that event in a very high profile community way, we thought it was a wonderful idea and a complete match with a lot of the demographics that we serve in terms of program participants, shoppers, donors, everyone. And so we really wanted to be a part of that. The very first year that we were a sponsor for Queen Bee, one of the individuals we support was actually a model for the fashion show, which was really cool. And from the very beginning, we've always had the Boutique, which is our little pop-up shop that we have as part of the Queen Bee Weekend. And we always have a team that's involved in the Queen Bee event, which is super fun. And then we partner with the Queen Bee on the donation aspect of the event and that aspect as well.
Nicole, going back to Kate's involvement in the PigAbilities, is she a runner? Is she going to be a runner, walker? Is she going to kind of follow literally in your footsteps? What do you think?
I mean, that would be my selfish hope as being a runner myself. But it's really, she's going to take the lead eventually, and she's going to let me know what she wants to do. We are involved in Special Olympics, and there's a plethora of activities and resources available to her there. But one thing that I'm also trying to strive to work toward is getting her involved in other programs that are not necessarily offered through Special Olympics, just to kind of see and explore what it is she might be interested in, and working with those various organizations to kind of develop a program that is a little more flexible for her to be included in things like, martial arts or ballet or gymnastics, things like that. So we'll kind of see what she does. We're still kind of throwing spaghetti at the wall and seeing what she wants to do. But it's definitely my selfish goal for her to run a marathon with me one day. So
well, that would be awesome. There's a lot of people who will be cheering. That's for sure when she does that. Sharon, before I let you go, I'll let you put a plug in for Goodwill, because we've all been home cleaning our closets out the last few months. So what do we do with all this stuff?
Well, thanks for asking, Betsy. And really, we have been overwhelmed with the generosity of all of Greater Cincinnati the past several months. We were closed, as everyone knows, in response to COVID-19 and the mandate, but we have reopened. All of our stores are open, except for our Montgomery boutique, and all of our donation centers are open. So we are accepting donations. As I say, people have been very generous, and we really, really appreciate that. But it's also great for our shoppers because we have all kinds of fresh inventory. So it's really wonderful, win-win all the way around. And the thing to remember about that is And I just want to make sure people understand that when they shop and donate to Goodwill, that actually provides 90% of the revenue we need to provide our programs and services for individuals with disabilities and our nation's veterans. So it's a win-win type of situation, and we appreciate everyone's support.
All right. Well, Sharon, thank you for being with us. And Nicole, thank you for being with us. I would thank Kate, but she's got her headphones on, so she's a little busy right now. But thank her for being with us. And Nicole, I know that you've been a tireless advocate for the PigAbilities event, and I think a lot of people have gotten involved in it. At least a lot of people now know about it because of your talking about it and really being so enthusiastic about what that event means. And so we thank you for your support on that one as well.
Thank you for having the event.
Well, thank you. Thank you both, and continued good health. And thanks for being with us on Pigs on the Run.
Thank you, Betsy.